Good afternoon. It's, what is it? July 27th, I guess. And I'm actually starting from the Hotel Saskatchewan, then I'm going to walk down to the University of Regina, where my car is waiting, because my daughter took it there and then she's went off with somebody else on a work-related trip to Cypress Hills, and as a result the car is waiting for me down there, so I'm going to go pick it up. So we will start here at the corner of, I was in the Hotel Saskatchewan, and now I'm starting here at the corner of Victoria and Scar Street. We're going to go over to Broad Street, walk down Broad Street, which is the most direct route. It turns into the Wascana Parkway, which takes you right to the University of Regina. So if you've ever wondered how long it takes to walk from downtown to the university, you're about to find out. This is the Sask Power building here behind this fence. They've been doing a lot of construction work on it. So it's had fencing around it and scaffolding and various other things for quite a while now, but there it is. Interesting building. Designed by Joseph Pettick, noted local architect. He was inspired by Brazilian modernism. And as always happens when I look at something like that, the horizon is now akimbo. It'll eventually, hopefully, straighten out a bit. There's nothing I can do about it. Not easily, and I'm not sure it makes any difference even if I try. So we're going down Victoria here. This is Gulf's Steakhouse, a very old-fashioned, traditional steakhouse that's been here forever. It's well known for having that gas flame out in front of it. There's downtown, core of downtown, I guess, down there. This is all downtown, obviously. This used to be the Assiniboia Club. It's now Crave Restaurant. The Assiniboia Club was like an old-style gentleman's club. My wife's father belonged to it, but it was kind of defunct by the time I got to Regina, essentially. Which is too bad. I probably would have enjoyed a place like that. Don't care whether it was just gentlemen or not, but the lounge and the leather and the paneled wood and all that, I probably like that sort of thing. That's the Ramada there. Doubletree by Hilton over there. It used to be called the Regina Inn. Looks like we'll have to wait a minute here at this corner. Take another look back down towards downtown. It's a beautiful day. It's quite a pleasant temperature. Almost chilly, in fact, in the shade with the wind.
Oh, wow.
Restaurant here called the Rooftop. I've only been in a couple of times. I've never been on the rooftop. They do have a rooftop lounge, but I've never been up there. Just not a place we think of, and I don't know why. It's right here. It's close. Food was fine. I just don't ever think of going there. This is Broad Street, so this will take us straight down to what turns into Wascana Parkway, which will take us directly to the University of Regina. It looks like my timing is going to be pretty good, so I might as well cross the street here. There'll be a left turn signal, and then we'll get a green cross light. I already have it over there because, or else they jaywalked. Hard to say. He seems to be in a hurry. Sask Energy building. That's the Crown Corporation that looks after natural gas. One of those cars that really objects to having to stop at a stop sign. You can tell by the way he stoplight, the way he came to an abrupt stop. He was clearly planning to just go around the corner without stopping. Trifun's Pizza over there, old pizza place. Tunnel through there. I don't know what all is in some of these buildings. I walk by them all the time or drive by them, but that one's got a broken window. I've rarely been in them. Diplomats Steakhouse is another old steakhouse along here. And various other things along here. I'm wearing dark sunglasses, so I can't really see the screen very well, so if you say hello, I may or may not notice right away. I don't know what they're doing on this corner. Noisy though, I'll tell you that much. Seoul Mart is a Korean food store, and then up here we have the Ethiopian restaurant. I've eaten there once. It's kind of cool. Almost surprised they're still going, but there they are. Like I said, only once, and that was years ago, so they've clearly managed to keep going for years. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over there, among other things. Cafe and bakery. We are reopened, it says. Center Point Plaza, this one. Other things here and there along here. There used to be a computer store over there years ago, I remember that. I just don't, there's almost nothing along here I come to on a regular basis. Pregnancy center, like I've never been in there. Now that building over there has the lab in it I went to this morning for my blood test. I had my physical yesterday, so I got my blood work done today. Had to be fasting. That was the most annoying thing, was not being able to have coffee first thing in the morning. 7-Eleven. If you go down this street to the left, it takes you straight to the General Hospital. Somebody a while back now was surprised, and you can see there's construction going on, so all the roads are messed up here. Was surprised that we still had 7-Elevens. A lot of them apparently have faded or closed, but we still got quite a few 7-Elevens. Shoppers Drug Mart over there. This Dragon Boat Asian food here does dim sum. Ate there for a German Wine Society function, and it was quite good. NDP constituency offices there. This is normally traffic would go down both sides of that boulevard there, or divider, but at the moment, because of work being done, they've got them both going down, both directions going down this side. used to be a daycare along here that we looked at once when we were still looking for daycares for Alice. Don't remember which building it was in though. That's a fairly new condo building there. Has a few businesses in the bottom as well. Don't know why you'd be wearing a mask outside, but their choice, I guess. Don't know why you'd be wearing a mask at all since they don't do anything. That's pretty clear from the data at this point. Make people feel more confident about going out, I guess. But I certainly don't see any evidence that they have made the slightest difference, since places with and without mask mandates have exactly the same kind of pandemic statistics. Mostly I've gone in there for a bubble tea my daughter sometimes went to. Oh. They're working on this apartment building substantially. There's one for sale, should you need one. Doesn't look like it might have been a house that was turned into an office, or it might have always been an office. Hard to say. This apartment building, we went to an architect there once when first time we were thinking about doing an extension to the house. Or we got some drawings done, but nothing came of them. But we are doing that work now. A very, very, very small addition, just a few square feet. Downstairs bath and a slightly larger storage space. And then a new deck is the main thing we're getting built. We've never had a deck. We had a kind of a patio, and an old concrete porch that was put on the house who knows when. Small and completely non-functional, really. For anything you'd want to use a porch for, like, barbecuing or whatever. So we're getting a nice big modern deck built in the back. And it keeps raining, so that work is taking a lot longer. I like this apartment building. There's a kind of a Spanish feel to it. Oh, and there's the apartments for rent in it. And over there is the College Avenue campus, the sound stage. I've walked by there many, many a time. Less often down this side of Broad, so this is a bit new. Well, that was weird. I don't quite know what happened there, but my feed went down, and it seemed like I'd lost all connection to the internet. The only thing I can figure is that I had something to do with a handoff from 5G to LTE. I don't know. That's never happened before. Not only did it go down, even though it showed I had bars, I couldn't connect. It would say that there was no connection, so weird. And I'm not 100% sure I'm connected now. So if you see this, please say hi. If you're watching part 1, well, thank you for coming back for part 2 as I carry on toward the university from downtown. Most of these buildings had something to do with the Anglican diocese at one point. This old one does. There's now, well, there used to be a coffee shop in there. I don't actually know if it's still there or not. Oh, there's people sitting on the deck, so maybe there are. CBC over there, soundstage over there. These buildings here are all new, but they are very much in the style of the older buildings. For some reason, this app won't let me do what I can normally do and look to see and show me how many connections I have on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm not at all sure I'm even connected, but oh well. I will carry on. hopefully it's at least recording. And if you do see it, please say hello so I know that you're there. I had to reboot the phone to re-establish my connection, which is why there was a bit of a delay there. Okay, anyway, carrying on down Broad toward the university. Bit of a hike, but I won't be doing the return trip, so in that sense it works out well. Naked Bean is a coffee shop I've been at many a time. My daughter used to like to come here on the way to dance competitions down at the Center of the Arts, which we'll be going by shortly. Not that shortly, but we will be going by it. Subway here. Olson Goldsmiths used to be closer to where we live, and that's where my wedding ring, which I'm wearing at this moment, was crafted. It's by Derek Olson. It's the park over there. There used to be a building there that was torn down, and they were going to build another one, but it never got built, and there was some concern about the approach that was taken to building that building, so it never happened. Yeah. The lobby here is a pub. I've only ever been in it once. This is Canadian Blood Services, used to be the Red Cross. I still don't understand why I can't the app is not working the way it should, but anyway, I will just carry on. It's all out of my control at this point. Canadian Blood Services, there you go. Now hiring drivers and logistic staff. Blood.ca careers. Blood. You can have a career in the blood. I can think of certain vampires who might want a career in the blood. I might even be able to, I could even do a story about a vampire who wanted a career in blood. Blood.ca. Or at least is disappointed when he goes to blood.ca and finds out it's just about blood donors and not for vampires. That would be a huge disappointment. That's my signal. I've walked through these apartments on occasion. There's usually a lot of bunny rabbits in one particular part of it. All I see now is a crow. That was really weird the way that went down. It just suddenly showed that it was done. And I know it saved it, so at least I can splice it together. I don't know exactly when it quit, how long before I noticed it that it quit. It was so weird. The phone showed bars, but it was no longer connected to the data network. And as I said, I ended up having to reboot it to get us back to where we are now. More crows. 3 crows. An attempted murder. An attempted murder of crows. Not quite enough to make one, I don't think. I don't know what the actual number of crows you have a murder of crows is, but must be more than 3. One would think. Legislative Dome showing through the trees over there. Again, if you're there, say hi, because I don't know if I'm streaming or not. It would be a great reassurance to know that I was. But it won't actually let me do what I normally do to show me how many people are watching on Facebook and YouTube, so I really do not know for sure. It always feels a bit lonely if nobody is watching. So, lots of grass. Doesn't matter. I have to walk to the university whether anybody's watching or not. But there's a goose very slowly crossing the road. Why did the goose cross the road? To get to the other side, and possibly to hold up traffic. Sometimes I think they get a kick out of that. But I'm sure that's anthropomorphizing. Heading to those geese that are over there in the grass, I guess, maybe. Over there is the Queen building, which I've often gone by on the other side. That's the naval building, essentially a landlocked ship. HMCS Queen. This apartment complex has been here for a very long time. Several years ago now, it was upgraded, but I suspect it goes back to the 50s. There's actually a certain resemblance to buildings I recognize from where I grew up. The North Weyburn, which was Second World War air base. There's a certain slightly military look to this. But I don't know if it goes back to quite the same time or not. It might have been post for Second World War, though, when there was a housing shortage of returning vets. I believe maybe it was further back where I usually see the rabbits when I walk through this complex. Don't see any today. Saw geese, though. I'm carrying my computer, and it's quite annoyingly heavy. More geese. So no bunny rabbits, but lots of geese. Again, if you're there, please say hi. I just want to know if anybody's watching or not, or if I'm actually streaming. I think I am, but I can't be 100% certain, and I'm always a little concerned after there's been a technical issue about whether or not things have recovered. See, geese enjoying the grass. Certainly doesn't feel chilly now in the sun. It feels quite warm. Further off of the road now as the sidewalk moves inland, if that's the right word. We're coming up to Wascana Center again. In fact, this is basically it right here now. The marina is right over there. And Wascana Center, which is where the offices for Wascana Center are, Wascana Center Authority. Look, there's a hill. I don't think it's a natural hill, but it's a hill. There's a lovely garden over there behind Wascana Center. I keep meaning to go in, called the Lady Slipper Garden? Something like that. Is that right? Something like that. This is Wascana Drive up here, which leads to the Science Center. I used to come this way all the time when I worked there, which is now some 29 years ago since I left that job. Hard to believe. still have a great deal of fondness for the Science Center, but I'm very much ancient history there now. It feels like I shouldn't be. It feels like everybody should know who I was. All the work I did there when it was first starting up and writing the original exhibit copy, much of which is still on the walls or on exhibits, and I did more work after that, freelance. So there's still a lot of my text visible in the Science Center, but nobody knows who I was. Although it's always fun when I go to an IMAX show, because the speech that they give at the beginning of the IMAX presentation about the size of the screen and everything still has elements from my original script that I wrote when it opened 30 years ago. And I can sit there going, I wrote that, more or less. That's the Connexus Art Center showing up over there. Now the question is, do I go way out of my way just to get a more scenic route, which would take us around the Connexus Art Center, or do I take the direct route, much shorter, just up Wascana Parkway to the university? That is the question. How long have I been walking on this leg? It's probably 10 or 15 minutes before that, and about 15 now. Maybe I'll go do the more scenic route. It'd be more interesting if I knew for sure somebody was watching me. So again, please say hello if you're there. Anyone? Anyone at all? Just say hi. Just to reassure me that I am not streaming into the void. Sometimes you live stream into the void, and sometimes the void live streams back. I feel like little Nietzsche, paraphrase Nietzsche for you there. Nietzsche. I don't tend to say Nietzsche, but the way it's spelled, I would think it's Nietzsche. In fact, it might even be Nietzsche. Nietzsche. I don't know for sure. There's a clear view of the lake as we cross the bridge here. So I think we'll go down and walk along the path down there, which will take us alongside the lake all the way down to the university. Normally I walk around the lake on that side, of course, but it does carry on this side. This is not actually a path, but it will get us there. There's a good chance I won't walk tomorrow because I have a dentist appointment in the morning and my jaw will be frozen for a few hours, or my lower left part of my jaw will be frozen. I don't particularly want to walk and try to talk with that going on, so I may not walk at all tomorrow. So if this one's a bit longer, that would make up for that. Friday then should be around the lake as usual. The other side of the lake. The other side of the bridge. The lake on the other side of the bridge. Geese. On Monday, was it Monday when I walked? There were snow geese flew overhead, which is a nice change. They're white and have black-tipped wings. You see them in huge flocks out in the country, but for some reason you don't see them in town as often as you do the Canada geese. Not sure why. And still no one has indicated they are here walking with me. So I don't know. Connexus Art Center, our major theatrical facility for big traveling shows, Used to be called just the Saskatchewan Centre of the Arts. That's where the Regina Symphony Orchestra plays too, so when we go to their concerts, that's where we go. We've had season tickets for a long time. I guess we still have them, or just keeping them. I don't know what the honking's for. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with me. Sounds like it's just somebody enjoying honking the horn on that tractor, which is it's a hobby, I guess. So this does add a fair distance to what would otherwise be a much shorter direct route along Wascana Parkway, but it's the more scenic route. It'll take us by the waterfowl ponds up here. And of course, as I said, right by the Connexus Art Center right there. It's so weird that it won't let me call up the usual display. It worries me. I hope it's at least recording. I get the exercise either way, but I don't want to disappoint my legions of fans by not recording one of my walks. Legions, I tell you. Legions upon legions. Why, I have 455, I think, subscribers, something like that, to this channel. As you can see, this is not the most direct route by any means. Nobody says that they're there. I tend not to talk as much because I don't mind talking to myself, but it does get boring after a while. I talk to myself, but I never listen to me. I talk to myself, but I never hear me. That's the Science Center right across the way there. In the former, it was a power station originally, so it's called the Powerhouse of Discovery. And you can see there's a observatory dome on the roof. Don't know what the status of that is. There used to be a good-sized refractor telescope in there. I presume there still is, but I don't know for sure. And again, there's the Connexus Art Center. The sky is quite lovely today. There's usually fewer people on this side of the bridge along the path than around the lake on the other side. This is a longer, drawn-er out, if that's a word, walk. You can't just make a loop, it just takes you in one direction. So there was talk at one point when I was at the Science Center of building a footbridge across the lake, a little further up there, but it never happened. Would have been right up there somewhere. Come on, if you're there, say hello. I feel so lonely. I feel so lonesome I could cry. Since my baby left, I found a new place to dwell. Broken-hearted love is called the Heartbreak Hotel. Oh, baby, I've been so lonesome, baby. So lonesome. I've been so lonesome I could cry. Although it's always crowded, you still can find some room. Okay, that's enough of that. I could have been an Elvis impersonator, but I never was. I've been a Queen Victoria impersonator. I mean, I played Queen Victoria in a sort of frightening, not intended to reflect reality sort of way. We are not a muse. We are a monarch. I've been Premier Walter Scott, first Premier of Saskatchewan. I've been, what was his name? Mayor something, O'Hara. First Mayor of Saskatchewan would have had a Scottish accent, so I had to develop one for that. It's all about getting it back in your throat, laddie. Other historical characters have I played. That's probably about it, actual historical characters. Otherwise it's all musical theater. This is the Wascana Waterfowl Park display ponds. I know that because there's a big sign there that says Wascana Waterfowl Park display ponds. Not that there's any waterfowl on display at the moment that I can tell. Lots of them over here though. And that is the university ahead of us. My car awaits me there once I get there. One of my cars, the one my daughter took this morning. She's off to Cypress Hills as part of her work with EYES Camp, engineering youth and educating youth, not engineering youth, educating youth in engineering and science. They go out there and run programs at the Deep Sky Observatory that's out there, Dark Sky I should say, observatory that's out there for anybody that happens to be around vacationing. She went out there for a training session. Now she's out doing the actual programming, and she'll be out there one more time this summer, of which there is not much left. She'll be back in Toronto at the University of Toronto in 6 weeks, which is hard to believe. Of course, in 2 months it'll be frosting, which is also hard to believe. And in 3 months there's very likely to be snow on the ground, which is not only hard to believe, it's downright depressing. I do feel lonesome without a single person saying hello on this walk, but the walk happens regardless. Wouldn't be the first time I performed without an audience. Or essentially without one. Anyway, somebody will watch this once it's recorded. If you're watching the recording, I thank you. I thank you for your support. And please, subscribe. If I could get to 1,000 subscribers, I could actually make money on this here thing. And I only need more than twice what I've got now. But I could get there if I keep doing it long enough. It might be another year. But I might get there. I never thought I would, but it keeps going up by bit by bit by bit, putting it together, small amounts. Hello, geese. May I come through, please? Yes, thank you for moving at least a little bit, even if you did swear at me. I actually got my sunglasses on my head, which they're not doing much good for my eyes up there, are they? That's Douglas, what's it called over there? It's Douglas Park, and that's called something hill. Anyway, that's a hill that gives you a great view of the city. I haven't been over to Douglas Park, actually, pretty much all summer. I need to get over there sometime. Once I have a car more regularly after in the fall, I'll certainly get over there, if not before. Great place to get a view of the sunrise, too. In the winter, the timing would work out pretty good. So I was up there for sunrise one morning because it was well after 8 o'clock. So the timing was just about perfect. No, stop singing Heartbreak Hotel. So if I had walked straight, I would be way close to the university already. So I really probably added 10 minutes at least by taking that scenic loop, because now we're coming back to Wascana Parkway. If I had carried on I would be well past this intersection by now. I might be at the university already, darn close to it. So I think actually to walk from downtown to the university, if all you did was focus on walking, half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, I would think you could do it if you walk at a fairly brisk pace. So if you were going to the University of Regina and you were living downtown, you wouldn't necessarily even have to have a vehicle to get there, although in the wintertime you would find it less pleasant than today. So here we are back at the Parkway, but we'll stick to the scenic route down here by the water. And a nice view of the university there across the water. Hands across the water. Some bollards here. I'm not quite sure what function they serve, but they're there. Maybe they're just keeping the bank up so it doesn't subside. Lots of geese. And oh, there's a duck too sitting on one of the aforementioned bollards. Coming through, there's a young goose there. Not a mongoose, but a young goose. Jamaican geese would be, that's a goose, mon, as opposed to the mongoose, which is an animal that lives in India. Rikki-tikki-tavi. Probably the most famous mongoose in literature, probably the only mongoose in literature. Rikki-tikki-tavi, Rudyard Kipling. If you haven't read the story, check it out. Also, The Cat Who Walked by Himself. I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me. Also Rudyard Kipling. About the domestication of the cat. Or did the cat domesticate us? I'm reading a book about the philosophy of the cat. And that's a very old question. A philosopher back in the 1500s, 1600s wondered if he thought of himself as amusing himself playing with his cat, but perhaps the cat was amusing herself playing with him. And I think it certainly works that way. From a cat's point of view, you exist to serve them. And it's, it's really nice that you're there to do that. They're wary because you're so much bigger, and they only, trust certain people, most cats, depending on what kind of socialization they've had. But ultimately, who domesticated who? We don't even require them to do anything. Except be cats in our house. We've had a fly in the house, and I kept hoping Shadowpaw would get it, but he kind of made a half-hearted lunge at it once and then ignored it. So it's not much help from a pest disposal point of view, at least not for insects. Never seen him with a mouse. Hope I never do, because that would mean there's a mouse in the house, which I'd rather not have. Again, if I were walking up there, it would be straighter, and I'd be, I'm sure, almost to the car by now, probably. But it's not as scenic. And still no one has said hello. I wonder if I am, in fact, streaming into the void. Well, the recording should be good, no matter what. It is an odd time for me to be doing this. I tend to get more greetings in the morning, which is my more typical live streaming time on weekdays. Weekends, though, it's often this time of day. almost like people have jobs and things and aren't focused on walking around in Regina with me, which is, priorities, people. Come on. Now, what shall I do here? I could go all the way around there, which is the long way around, or I could cut up through here and find my way through the middle of the university campus, which might be more interesting. I think I'll do that. Somewhere up here there'll be a road which will take me, or a path that will split off from this one and take me more directly toward the university, I think. A little further yet. Direct route, I'd be up there and well onto the university campus by now. So again, half an hour I think would take you from downtown to the university. 40 minutes at the outside, depending on how fast you walk. I think there's a path that splits off up here. That's what bells are for. So he used his properly, which was nice. So I had no idea he was there till he rang it. Here's the path. He just took it. We will take it as well. It's a hill. Worse. Not a fan of hills. Fortunately, they are a rare obstruction in Regina. Look at that. Look at that massive hill. I've got to trudge all the way up there. I hope I make it. Lots of grass here, lots of mowing to keep it this short. Over there you can just sort of see the big Joe Fafard sculpture, which is really cool. I've been in there a few times. I won't go there today because I'm headed to this crosswalk here. Once I make it to the top of this massive hill, almost there. Wow, I made it. Am I impressive or what? Now, if we go this way, I think we'll be able to go between those buildings potentially and through the quad, or whatever they call it here, Academic Green or something like that. There's the Fafard thing again. I think it's called the Garden of... Is it the Garden of Delights? That's... The Garden of Earthly Delights is Bosch, I think, Hieronymus Bosch, I think. That might be what that's called too. Alright, we'll go this way. Into the depths of the university campus. That in front of us is the library. Oof! A very unexpected sudden descent in the path there, in case you're wondering what that was all about. I'm pretty sure there are stairs that'll take me up and around this here building. Pretty sure. There should be a fountain there, but there ain't. I imagine, I don't know, the library should be open. People have summer classes and stuff. Just because it's summer doesn't mean the university shuts down. Professors, after all, do research and stuff all summer long. Yeah, I think if we go this way, probably the best. Yeah. Up these here stairs. Unless I go this way. I think this is better, as I remember. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oops. It's not really an official path, but it'll take us there. To these here steps. I should have followed that sidewalk there. This is even higher than that mountain I just climbed. Ain't no mountain high enough. Okay. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. Now, let me think. Go that way. I think if I go this way, there's a way down. If I'm wrong, I have to retrace my steps. But I would imagine at the end here, there's a way down into the green down there. Well, at least there's a corner I can go around. That's promising. Oh yeah, I kind of know where I am now. It's definitely a way down up here into the green. Then we'll go through the Riddell, if it's open. Just a quick pass through, and then on down to the where the car is, which is in front of the kinesiology building. And still, nobody has said hello to me on this entire walk. I must say, I am feeling abandoned. I think those are dorms, those two. Again, that's the library, one of the original university buildings. There's been a lot built since the campus first opened in the 70s. Alrighty, we will go down the stairs here into the green. I shouldn't get trapped in here like I did back during COVID when everything was locked up. I had to wander around trying to find a way out like a rat in a maze. In case you doubted, this was actually the University of Regina. There's a sign proving it. Again, I think they call this the academic green. I think that's what it's called. Like I said, most places would call it a quad, but on the other hand, it's round-ish, not quad-ish, so that might be why. We're heading to the Dr. William Riddell Center down here, which is student center is in there and other things, and the university theater where I've performed many a time. That's the education building over there, and my car will be just the other side of that and a bit farther on. Why did I correct myself? Further is for metaphorical distance, farther is for actual distance, is the fine distinction that absolutely nobody pays any attention to, except I learned it and I can't unlearn it. So it's something I'm always changing in things I edit, which I've been doing quite a bit of. I just got complimented by noted science fiction author James Morrow for having such a good eye for subtle errors, which made me happy. I like to think I do. I've had a lot of practice at it now. Now, do I want to go through the Riddell or do I go on down? No, that gets cut off, I think. So probably through the Riddell is the best way. Why did the live streamer pass through the Riddell Center to get to the other side? Yeah, I can't go that way. I could go up and along there and probably down, but let's pass through. Break on through to the other side. Everything is a song cue if you know enough songs. Little known fact. I avoided coming through here a long time because they were still mandating masks inside, but that's gone, so now don't worry about it. I will just pin away. I'm only going literally across this little path to that door over there. That takes you to the university building, and the Riddell is down that way. But I am going right on through. And now I'm within, well, longish spitting distance of the car. A very long spit. What if I could pass through the university building? Probably shouldn't. That's where my daughter has been hanging out doing these ice camp things, but she's not doing a workshop there, but they would be happening. That means there's kids in there. I try to avoid pointing the camera at kids as much as possible. But the car is just about a block now to my left, which will be the end of this walk, which apparently nobody has been watching. Well, you are watching it recorded, so kudos to you, and thank you for your support, and please subscribe to my channel and never miss another fascinating walk in Regina. And I do occasionally post other stuff like writing related stuff and music stuff on my channel. There might be more writing related stuff going forward if I get my act together and take it on the road. All the books I'm publishing, I should be putting more on there related to that. Shadowpaw Press has its own YouTube channel, but there's so little stuff on it that nobody has discovered it. It has like 1 subscriber, I think, which isn't doing a lot for marketing, but okay, so that parking lot directly ahead of us is where my car should have been parked by my daughter this morning. She's in Cypress Hills, almost to Cypress Hills now, and I am here. Education building down there. Used to drop her off here all the time back when she was an ice camp kid, and now she's an instructor, which is kind of cool. She went to ice camp a few times and met a future best friend of hers here, actually, although she didn't know until she ran into her in Davin School that they had both been at ice camp at the same time. And yes, I know they've changed the name of Davin School to the Crescent School, and I'm not changing it. It's Davin School in my head and always will be. It did still have the name on it incised in the stone. They even took that down. Now, I just have to find it. It'll be in there somewhere. So I'll stop here. That's the kinesiology building and the gym. And yeah, so it was well over an hour, I guess, counting the original part. But you could take 10 minutes off for when I went out of my way. So I'd say it's a 45-minute walk probably. If you were coming to this side of the university, if you were in one of the other buildings, it might only be half an hour, 40 minutes from downtown. In case you wondered. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back, maybe back tomorrow, more likely not because of the dental work. And again, if you enjoy these, please subscribe, and then you'll never miss a walk.